Okay, this video is about Mama Sezz. Mama Sezz is a company that sells plant foods, and this is the mother. Her and her daughter co-founded this company to sell plant foods called Mama Sezz. And the reason I'm showing you this to you is it's a little bit interesting. The story that they put, and again, they claim this is their story and it's the truth, so I'm just going to assume it's the truth. This is not a scientific publication. The reason I'm showing it is this is becoming part of the public consciousness that you can reverse these diseases that previously were just, a death sentence. Okay, so this lady here, Mama Sezz, claims that she had end-stage congestive heart failure with an ejection fraction of 10%, and that when she started eating the plant-based diet, her ejection fraction came back to normal. Okay, I don't have the exact normal number that it was, but back to normal, let's say like 55 or something. Okay, so it's extraordinary. All right, I'm going to give you the link to the video about this lady, and I'm not endorsing any of their products. I don't know if their products are any good at all. What I find interesting is this idea that congestive heart failure can be reversed by a plant-based diet, and that's becoming more widely acknowledged, and I'll show reasons for that. So, this idea that you can reverse congestive heart failure, previous death sentence, it reminds me of the painting here of Jesus Christou, raising Lazarus from the dead. And plant-based diet has been able to do a lot of the stuff. Low-fat vegan, okay? We know Dr. Esselstyn's diet, all the patients that completely followed his diet, he claims they never had a single subsequent coronary event or cerebrovascular event like a stroke. Okay, we've seen people who've gone low-fat vegan with metastatic breast cancer like Ruth Heydrich, like that other lady, the Dr. You-know-what-day, and other ones who claim that the low-fat vegan diet is what made the difference, including that lady, Murray, who was in Australia and ran a marathon around the perimeter of the country every day for a whole year. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is there's more and more examples. Roy Taylor, all of his patients with diabetes 4 years or less lost their weight, and that was not specifically going vegan, but again, vegan makes people lose weight if they eat 1% of calories from fat with the starches, like rice, white rice, potatoes, sweet potatoes, and even beans are only 3% fat with lentils. Anyways, I'm showing you this idea that congestive heart failure can be reversed, a previous death sentence, okay? They were told, she was sent, by the way, Mama Sezz, to a hospice and told she's going to die soon. Okay, here's Baxter Montgomery. He's a cardiologist, and this is one of his publications on plant-based diet used for reversal of congestive heart failure. Okay, the patient went from an ejection fraction of 22%, severe congestive heart failure, up to 42%, a major improvement. Okay, so there's just one case report publication. Okay, here's Dr. Robert Ostfeld. He's a cardiologist in New York, and he published this right here of congestive heart failure. Ejection fraction of 35%, goes vegan for 6 weeks, and ejection fraction comes up to 50%. Okay, heart failure, another case review, Robert Ostfeld, and he showed additional patients who reversed congestive heart failure with the plant-based diet. Okay, this is just a chest x-ray of congestive heart failure. The lungs are filled with fluid. There's fluid in the right horizontal fissure. These are what are called curly B lines, named after an Irish physician, where there's filling of the pulmonary lymphatics that extend perpendicularly out to the lateral chest wall. The heart is enlarged. It's more than half of the cardiothoracic ratio. Oh, I'm just going to show you what some looks at congestive heart failure. It can be because you have a dilated, weakened left ventricle that can't pump adequately. It can be because you have a hypertrophic, thickened left ventricle which doesn't fill adequately. Again, most of the stuff starts with ischemic atherosclerotic disease. Oh, here's one patient with a severe stenosis in the left anterior descending coronary artery, and then it opened up after eating the low-fat vegan diet. That's from Dr. Montgomery. This was Dr. Montgomery's CHF reversal patient. Okay, here's Walter Kemner, MD, and he had a bunch of patients who their cardiac chest size returned to normal in their chest x-rays upon eating his diet, and they also lost lots of weight, so their blood pressures came down to normal. Regression of atherosclerosis, which components regress, what influences their reversal. David Blankenhorn's paper here, and the main thing he thought was that you have to lower dietary fat He says there's good evidence from recent clinical trials. Functional improvement of the sclerosis can be achieved by maximally reducing LDL cholesterol. Atherosclerosis, therefore, appears to be best influenced by lipid lowering. Okay, and he wrote another paper saying it has to be a reduction of all fats. We know about Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn and how he showed reversal of coronary artery disease with his low-fat vegan diet. Oh, this is just a picture I showed of him and his son, the idea of him being kind of like an Old Testament God, no oil, not one drop. He's sort of inflexible, and that's something you're going to see too. This sort of complete sticking with the diet. It's like an alcoholic, you don't drink on the weekends. A smoker, you quit, you don't smoke anymore on the weekends. And you become a low-fat vegan if you want to cure these major diseases like major coronary artery disease, congestive heart failure. Smart move is go 100% with it. And there's not a guarantee you're going to cure it like with congestive heart failure. This is a new thing. But I simply wanted to show the Mama Sezz company because I think that's a big step, and that's this sort of thing moving to public consciousness. And again, I'm not endorsing any of their foods. They probably sound, who knows what they're selling. I'm not going to say anything good or bad about it. I'm just saying the story is interesting.